What is up, dudes and dudettes and everything else in between? Hail Satan. Is that day finally here? Is that day finally showing up where the narcissist and egonomics are coming to an end? As I speak, the Cuban Fabio is probably on his way to the podium, or when I last checked, he was fashionably late. He's supposed to start this his announcement at 10:45, and when I checked it was 48, so he's probably still picking out which pink socks to woo the crowd with as a last little attempt. I want everybody to understand something. I think all of us Canadians know what the fuck's going on. Jerk Meat is still going to get his he's still getting his pension. I'm not sure if the Bloc is getting what they want, but the Bloc is still a joke. If PP does become prime minister with a nice majority, and these losers end up getting the chance to be the official opposition, you're not in any better situation in Canada. You really aren't. You already had this Nepo baby for almost 10 years, and he's probably resigning on January 6th. What happened a long time ago concerning the J6? Gee, I wonder. Kind of mimetic in that regard. Everybody else, fuck them. Fuck everybody, really. Now, it's going to be very interesting if and when he does resign, because I'm stating this right now. I've become very cynical to the point where I will believe it when I actually fucking see it. But I think 9 out of 10, this loser is probably going to fucking resign. And to me, I'm going to be honest, this isn't enough. It's not enough. Canadians had a lot of opportunity. This government has had a lot of opportunity to get rid of this motherfucker. And yes, when I say get rid of him, I mean physically arrest this motherfucker and throw away the key. All of that good shit. But I know I'm being idealistic. I know I'm asking for too much when I say shit like this, because that's not gonna fucking happen. That's what I mean. Pretty mimetic. This doesn't mean it's... The whole reason why all this shit's fucking happening is because a lot of his buddies in the background are being negatively affected by this. They are nimbious until it affects you. Almost as if we should be concerned about certain laws and policies that will eventually affect you guys, because you guys could sit there as the private citizens that you are. You could sit there and say, well, it doesn't affect me. Well, no, it may not affect you, but when it comes to the quality of life, your buying power, inflation, jobs, anything that has to do with being in the macro aspect of society, it will negatively affect you, and then vice versa. It's a feedback loop, okay? The micro and the macro and vice versa, yeah, that is a fucking thing. It is. So it even happens with these idiots as well. Do you think everybody's invited into the club? It may appear that they're in the clique, and we're not invited, which is fine. Listen, you guys wouldn't like half of the shit that I'm into, so whatever. You might think I'm weird, but I think you guys are more fucked up, which is kind of ironic coming from me. So, like, who gives a fuck? You think everybody in there are friends? What is it, fair weather friends or something? Yeah. Buddies until you're not, or friends with benefits, let's just say. They're all friends with benefits in that regard. Maybe not in a sexual way, but just transactional, socially in that regard. But what they do in their private life is none of my business. None of this is good enough for me. If he is resignating as we make this fucking video, I don't give two fucks. It's not enough. They're going to replace him with who? They're going to replace him with the freeloader, the fucking jester, Carney, that fucking loser, and who else? I have no fucking clue. Whoever they're going to replace him with might be 10 times worse than Cuban Fabio, or just might be on par with him. We have too many losers in Canada to actually make a better change, and we're going to see the trajectory. What's going to happen with the election? It doesn't... Listen, this whole thing, this whole rebranding, refacing of the libtards, these guys aren't libtards. You guys have a CCP. You have the Canadian Communist Party voted in already. You already did. Now let me ask you guys, was communism finally implemented properly? I'm just asking for a dead friend, that I communicate with on a spiritual basis every so often. He's just curious because just wants to know from beyond the grave. Just wants to make sure that no one's stealing his name so they could be voting for the wrong type of guy, Biden style and shit like that. It is possible. Fucking idiots. Yep, we're all useful even after death, which appeases my dark delight humor. Anyways, yep, that's it. I don't think I have anything else to add. I mean, this year has been, as Styx would put it, weirder than 24. Not necessarily. I find since 2020 until now, things have just been getting weirder and weirder, and I embrace that. See, this is what I mean. And this is partially a little bit of my own fault here. When I say embrace chaos, some people will wonder, what the fuck does that mean? You want destruction. You want disorder. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the Discordian. Simply just order and chaos. No. Chaos encapsulates potentiality, possibilities, and maybe the impossibility. Nothing that we could conceive of rationally. I didn't think that this would fucking happen, if he is, because again, I'm not watching the live feed of him resigning. I didn't think he would possibly resign, if that is to be the case. Because we're suffering under egonomics. There's been a number of times when this asshole has been pressured to do that. You had numerous attempts, and that's why I kept saying buffer. And I guess finally now the news feed is finally coming full circle and it's working. So guys, bring your fucking popcorn and start the live stream. It's no longer buffering. We're actually going to get some results, unless it's all a troll. Unless it's him just trolling to entertain himself and say, fuck you all, I'm not leaving. that would be kind of funny, and at the same time, fuck you. Or he's just serious. It's a serious thing. Again, I didn't think this Malak would actually possibly go through with it. But if it does, it doesn't mean that we're any better. Canada needs to get rid of these libtards. Is it the end of the libtards? Possibly not. It's just another incarnation of it. Just like the Democrats in the United States. Just like the right in the United States as well. Everybody has this boxed in view of what these things are. It's all bullshit at the end of the night. This is what I mean. There's potentiality and different trajectories. That's what I mean by embrace chaos. And it's been going very well thus far, and I've been proven right. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Let the shit show fucking begin. Peace out.